Fortnite revealed Chapter 3 Season 4 right in front of our eyes since July, which we're going to be discussing in today's video, which will honestly blow your mind, alongside a load of other Season 4 related stuff to do with the Battle Pass, the skins contained within it, even further surfacing teasers in-game and across social media by insiders and content creators, which is why it's vital you stick around until the end of today's video, as you also just witnessed a mirror get smashed, which means 7 years bad luck if you don't. I wouldn't risk it. However, very quickly before we dive into it all, one favour I ask of you guys, considering it takes 2 seconds and is 100% free to do, is enter my creator code FM1 3 digits inside the Fortnite item shop. You guys already know this not only puts a giant smile on my face, but cheers up my pug Gus too, who's been kinda sad about the fact he knows that 70% of all eyes watching right now are not subscribed. With that said, hit the big red button right now as we're on our final push to 2.5 million or 2.5 million subscribers, and after all it only benefits you as I do give different subscribers every single day, which of course soon is going to be hundreds of Chapter 3 Season 4 Battle Passes. So if you ever want to receive something, simply make sure you subscribe to the channel with all notifications turned on, and then comment your Epic Games ID down below and let me know what you'd like to receive, so perhaps you could be gifted like this on screen in front of hundreds of thousands of eyes to see in the next video. But with all that said, now enough messing around, let's dive into everything crazy revealed about Season 4, so make sure of course you don't go anywhere.
Don't go anywhere.
I'm sitting on my
Don't
back.
go anywhere.
So the first and one of the most important points to discuss, if you didn't already know, despite the Fortnite x Marvel Zero War comics releasing over the Season 4 release date period, with the last issue, issue 5, I believe coming around on the 28th, with so much speculation initially going around that Season 4 would be Marvel themed, data miners and insiders have came out stating or confirming that it will not be Marvel themed. Despite us not knowing the official theme yet, this doesn't mean Marvel can't be integrated, just like what we saw in Chapter 3 Season 2 with 2 Marvel skins featuring throughout the 8 Battle Pass ones. And with that nicely moving us on to our second point, how we know this is going to be the case, that Marvel is going to be crossing over at least in a small aspect to the Battle Pass skins overall. For those that haven't been seeing the inside leaks pouring out across Twitter and also Reddit, mainly Twitter, and I recommend following mine in the video description down below alongside my other socials, it's been confirmed that Spider-Gwen will be coming to the Season 4 Battle Pass, whether she is just one of the 10-page skins or the coming soon skin, kinda like how we had Prowler in Chapter 3 Season 2. As of right now, that intel is currently unknown, but we do know with the appearance of Spider-Gwen, many people question, is Miles Morales going to be upcoming, considering Prowler has previously teased in voice lines things from, well, what he says to Miles Morales. As for those that don't know, again, Prowler is the uncle of Miles Morales himself. Well, it's actually been determined from insiders that he won't be in the Battle Pass, rather so in the duration of Chapter 3 Season 4 he will be rotating as a skin for anybody to buy for V-Bucks throughout the Fortnite item shop. Speaking of the Battle Pass though, moving on to our third point, it's been determined from Hypex, as you can see Sheena tweeted right here, next season the Battle Pass layout will not change back to the old design or a new one according to Hypex. Of course this means yes, we're going with the 10-page system once again, which honestly I don't mind too much, but I definitely thought they'd be changing it to the design of the mini Battle Pass we got for the Dragon Ball collaboration, you know, this one where all the rewards were displayed like this. I myself even made a concept for what this could look like in terms of Season 4 rewards in a Battle Pass, all 100 that we will receive throughout the paid version. Either way, Sheena states about his personal opinion, he likes the linear Battle Pass system like the ones in the image below much better, but I guess there's a good reason why Epic prefers the new layout. Personally, yes, I have to agree with him, things like Chapter 3 Season 3 were a good system because we not only got the linear Battle Pass tab, but a whole Battle Pass scene. Personally, my favourite of all time was the one they introduced in Chapter 2 Season 2, where we could literally have so many Easter eggs to interact with and challenges to unlock Deadpool throughout the weekly challenges that rotated for him, and all of the agent rooms, specifically Midas's, with storyline developments obviously pointing toward when the live event would be and how erratic the Doomsday device was getting. We only ever saw 3 of these for Chapter 2 Season 2, Chapter 2 Season 3, and Chapter 2 Season 4, the Marvel season entirely of course, which then switched to this in Chapter 2 Season 5. I don't know if Epic got lazy, but yeah, I definitely think they should bring back these scenes. Either way, let me know what you think down below in the comments. Moving on to our fourth point, however, speaking of the tweet Hypex initially put out about the Battle Pass UI not changing, I wanted to mention this secondly, considering the image attached to this tweet is what we're going to be discussing now, the teaser or kind of artwork asset revealed accidentally early by Nintendo. For those that haven't seen, this has been floating across social media for a few days, if not a week now, showing not only a ton of goo, but a hand that seems very familiar reaching out almost as if it's been swallowed by this substance. Many people at first, including Hypex, thought this was correlating to the Fortnite Mares event and boss we're going to be seeing, as the Halloween event will be ongoing over the period of Season 4 with it ending on December 4th, 2022, and with data miners such as Hypex himself being able to determine that the hand stretching out of this goo is belonging to the new suited up version of the Paradigm, and with many people expecting Paradigm's new form that we saw in the Collision event, you know, this one, to be releasing throughout the Season 4 Chapter 3 Battle Pass, this is not only very likely, but considering we know the voice voiceover of Paradigm in this event collision was by Brie Larson, who plays Captain Marvel. Could this mean we get a mask-off version of the Paradigm, kinda like what we have with The Rock being underneath the Foundation mask? Well, honestly, this is looking even more plausible by the day, considering Donald Mustard recently, just before the release of Season 4, coincidentally followed Brie Larson on Instagram, so I doubt this is any form of coincidence. Speaking of the goo and the theme of next season, nicely moving on to our next point, no, it's not going to be entirely goo themed, but the goo has been teased right in front of our eyes to do with Season 4 or progressing into it since July 2022. For those that haven't noticed, around Spawn Island initially we started seeing a strange substance kind of spreading around it, this black gooey like liquid with even footprint imprints obviously shown as if characters have walked through it. Of course, speaking of the Paradigm too, and despite the fact she was involved in this teaser, in the Week 8 vibing quest, for those that haven't heard it yet, she actually mentions about a strange substance. With these factors in mind, combined with the fact Tabor Hill literally tweeted out 4 hours ago from the time I'm recording, it's not easy facing up when your whole world is black, and a picture of the Fortnite crew skin, obviously with kind of like alternate upside down dimensions, so we thought at the time when this loading screen was released for July's crew pack. Even Fortnite themselves, when they initially announced this crew pack skin for July, released a GIF version of this, so yeah, I thought that was pretty cool to include animated instead of just the static loading screen. Either way, with only 9 days remaining until the release of Season 4 after downtime lifts, of course, considering on the 17th, when this season does end, we go into a 12 or 18 hour downtime for the season to then release early the next day once the servers go live. Perhaps the progressive map changes next season over the duration of it, like the reality tree we saw this season, changing several named locations around the map from the roots spreading all over the island. Is the goo spreading all over the Battle Royale island itself? Which would make sense considering the breaking news from Firemonkey right now states the same Telegram channel that caught the Skyfire event announcement for Fortnite recently caught this unsent/scheduled Fortnite tweet. Chrome will consume all, Chrome will be all. Hashtag Fortnite Paradise. It's also just been confirmed that this is the official artwork or kind of promotion for next season, and the title of it, of course, being Fortnite Paradise, as you can see, which again is going to kind of clash or conflict against the Halloween theme that it needs to go with at a certain point anyways for Fortnite Mares 2022. And if we go to the Epic Games website now for the first teaser of Fortnite Paradise, you can not only play sound, which sounds like this, and speaking of teasers Epic Games are posting, but to Fortnite's TikTok, as you can see in these videos, there seems to be so many things to do with kind of props or whatever, randomly turning Chrome, correlating again to what it states here about Chrome being pretty much everything next season in this tweet. Moving on to our next point, speaking of Fortnite Mares, what happened last year, it wouldn't surprise me if we get introduced to another big storyline based foe, as last year we got the Cube Queen, obviously fitting this dark, sinister theme. However, speaking of the Cube Queen, despite many people speculating her return due to this glowing like sphere on the outskirts of the flipped over island now, which we thought initially destroyed her, for those that haven't been noticing with the updates made to the reality tree with more zero waves surging off of it, almost as if it's developing up to something and something's going to be happening because of all the energy it's taking from the 0 point in the cinematic trailer for Season 4. There are now different coloured butterflies that we can see specifically only in replay mode flying around, which we know correlate to colours of the previous cubes we've seen, whether it be gold, purple or blue. Well, despite these already known about colours of the cubes, we actually are starting to see red butterflies, which many people at first didn't think meant anything. However, now we're starting to speculate the appearance of a red cube, which we haven't seen before, due to the fact also at the Joneses POI, you can clearly see there's not only a blue, purple and gold cube in the representation form of not only a normal cube but dice, but also a red dice, implying that this is going to be the case as well, on top of the fact that Donald Mustard actually tweeted out this video, which I don't know about you guys, but as he captioned, light through multiple layers of glass and liquid can look so cool, not only correlates to Season 4 with the gooey liquid, but also this actual video itself kind of depicts the structure of one of these 0 point like butterflies that Fortnite have created and put into game. Even I commented on this myself, if we only look at the pyramid like structure and the glow at the top or the center point of it anyways, it kind of looks like the Cube Queen pyramid, so that could also be implying the return of the Cube Queen from the last reality and perhaps even her ship. Next up, with all of that already confirming that Season 4 is going to be interesting alongside the Fortnite Mares event perhaps being the biggest one we've seen yet, another Battle Pass skin that got confirmed off the surveys that Fortnite have been releasing to be coming, or upcoming should I say, in the Season 4 Battle Pass is this goth version of Meowscles, which seems to be a lot skinnier than the buff one we saw released in Chapter 2 Season 2. And speaking of these surveys as well, don't forget that this character at the end of the Season 3 trailer, looking at the reality tree through what seems to be an orb or crystal ball, vehicle is on these surveys, and because of this many people are starting to speculate or even tease themselves who have inside information that yes, this possibly could be an upcoming Season 4 Chapter 3 Battle Pass skin. And last but not least for today's video, we actually have our first look of the new Mech. Yes, you heard that right, considering this that was introduced in Chapter 1 Season X and returned very briefly in Chapter 2 Season 8 has been updated in the files multiple times once again. Of course, many people have speculated considering its similarities in terms of structure to Hulkbusters from the Marvel Universe, with this being revealed a 7-built Hulkbuster-like vehicle in the Fortnite X Marvel Zero War comics. With us now getting this colour revealed version thanks to Shinobi Art over on Twitter, we should be getting these as new vehicles next season, which I hope to God honestly aren't too overpowered. However, to perhaps counter these with all the goo spread across the island, for those that don't know, sand tunneling initially introduced in Chapter 2 Season 5 was updated in the files once again, which for those that don't know looked like this once we were stood stationary, going underneath the sand as a kind of blob only visible on the surface once moving. Perhaps this could be a mechanic to not only sink underneath the goo and evade catastrophe from one of these giant robots or mech-like structures. And if goo tunneling is upcoming in Chapter 3 Season 4, fingers crossed it doesn't constantly get disabled as a glitchy-like feature, with it having so many bugs like it initially did as sand tunneling in Chapter 2 Season 5. But that's all I've got for you guys in today's video, so if you enjoyed or are excited for Season 4, make sure of course to slap a like in this video and make sure you subscribe to the channel with all notifications turned on so that you don't miss any breaking news in these final days leading up to September 18th when Season 4 releases. But speaking of other videos, make sure to interact with anything on screen right now, I don't mind, because most importantly hopefully I can catch you in that very next video I do post on the channel.